Okay, so my name is Venkat and I have around 11 plus years experience. Since 3 years, I started working on RPA tools like solution designing, architecture, and some part of development wherever needed. So completely, I'm working in telecom domain for various clients across the globe, like UK, Malaysia, and Singapore, and US clients. Okay, so in case if you need my contact, you can see here my email ID and WhatsApp number. Okay, so venkat.rpa.ai@gmail.com is my email ID where you can contact for any queries. Okay, and WhatsApp number also 961-867-1380. Okay. Okay, so this is the 10th batch we are going to start, and the previous 9 batches we covered UiPath and Blue Prism tools, and couple of people expecting automation anywhere also. Okay, so what I will do is for this batch, most of the people are expecting UiPath first, and then automation anywhere also people started asking. Okay, so what I will do is in the last 1 week, I will just have set up for automation anywhere also, and then I'll just cover it at high level. Okay, in case if you need more details on it, complete use case and all, we'll discuss about that later. Okay. So UiPath is the major one which I will cover, around 25 use cases. It could extend to up to 30 also. So some people will ask their own use cases in their own domains where they are working. And once I cover all my use cases, in case if you have any specific use cases to implement, okay, you can start implementing that, and then I can also help you to do that use cases in your specific domain. Okay, so we'll work together if any other use cases which is not part of my training agenda. Okay. So what is an RPA? So most of you are aware of by this time what is an RPA. Okay, it's a robotic process automation. Okay, it's not a physical robot. Okay, it's a software robot wherein it logs into system. It opens the files like how human is opening. It clicks on some icons, how you are clicking on your desktop icon, or how you are opening the folders. How you are opening the Google, how you are opening the Internet Explorer, any portals and tools, how human is behaving. Similarly, it will behave in the system, but you have to do a couple of customizations and configurations. Okay, so that could be a part of development sometimes. That could be simple configuration sometimes. So that is how it is. Okay, if you see what is an RPA, it's an automation that interacts with the computer centric process with a software user interface providing support. Okay, like human will not do everything, right? Whatever is the softwares we have in your system, or whatever the applications you have in your system. Okay, those applications or softwares you use, and you will do some activities. It also does the same thing. Okay, so RPA aims to replace repetitive tasks. That is one of the main thing where many people working in BPA or banking sectors or any supply chain management, or any other tools wherein they are doing daily activities, same activities. They'll just open some documents and follow steps, and they do. So RPA is the best place to implement repetitive tasks. Okay, and there are places wherein you will integrate two systems. Okay. Two systems to interact, so that is part of integration. So that is also an area where you will use an RPA. That could be two systems, could be portals, or one system could be a database, another system could be a portal, or both the systems will have backend databases, or it could be Oracle or Microsoft, whatever the databases we have. Those kind of interactions also it will do. Okay, so that is the main use of RPA, and why do we use an RPA? So in the next slides, you can see the features of an RPA, and where what all domains you will use an RPA. Okay, and the features of an RPA. We will discuss all those things. In case if you have any doubts, in any slide while discussing, you can stop me and ask questions. Okay, so these are the high-level features of an RPA. It's not limited to these. Okay, If you see the first point, the centralized repository for version control, execution logs, and credentials. I think you are already doing some code developments, right? You will develop the code, and some people will be sitting in Hyderabad or Bangalore or Pune, Mumbai, and everyone will work on the same project. So they will use some version control systems like SVN, our Team Foundation Server, TFS. Okay, so that feature is also there in RPA. So multiple persons can interact with one process, wherein checkout and check-in options will happen there, and then okay, so they'll all together can work on one single process also. And when you are executing a process, logs will be stored, and the credentials will also be there for each and every user. And the credential will also be there to the systems where this robot is going and logging in. So that is the best feature in the RPA. Okay, the security in initial days in banking sectors, many other clients worrying about the security, how we'll handle the security. So if we see in these days, any RPA tool like UiPath, Blue Prism, Automation Anywhere. Okay, so there are other 10 plus tools are there. I'll show you that tools also in the market for RPA. So in all these tools, okay, they are maintaining very good security measurements, and how they are giving assurance to customers is, in case if any security breach happened, okay, whatever the cost, whatever the fine or extra fine occurred due to that security, we are ready to pay. So that's kind of assurance they are giving. So no issues in security in this case in these RPA tools. Okay, the next one is large group deployments. Okay, they can deploy multiple robots, or they can deploy multiple processes at a time. That feature is also there. And the next one is rule-based exception handling. Okay, like Java code or C language or Oracle SQL, PLSQL, how you're handling exceptions. So we also have the drag and drop, features to implement the error handling or exception handling features. In most of the tools, it is there. Without that, there is no RPA tool in these days. Earlier days, we have some struggles, but now it is not like that. The next one is job scheduling. Cron job scheduling you might have seen, right? So similarly, we have job scheduling here. We can schedule a job wherein your process can be executed by a bot. Okay, and you may have multiple processes in different times to be executed, and multiple bots are also there. Those configurations you can do in the server. Like if you take UiPath, it is orchestrator, and if you take the Blue Prism, it is something different. Okay, so I'll show you that also in the first class. Okay. So release environments, basically you'll have dev environment, test environment, production environment. So those environment-wise deployments also you can see. Highly elastic scalability, the feature. And the last one is work queues, wherein if any transactions you have, okay, let me keep everyone on mute. Okay, I'm getting some disturbance. Please, if you have any questions, you can unmute and talk to me. Okay. Mute all. Okay. Okay, so work queues is basically to get the transactions into a queue. Okay, from that queue, your process can pick the transaction items. Okay, so in that way, multiple processes can take the transactions from the queue, and multiple bots can also execute multiple processes. Okay, say for example, your queue has 10 transactions, or 10,000 or 20,000 transactions, and one process may take half an hour, but you have to complete your work in 1 minute or 2 minutes. Okay, so what you will do is you have to run multiple processes on the same queue so that you can complete your transactions early. So once one process has taken your transaction, that transaction will be held by that process, and the same transaction cannot be taken by other process. So that is how the work queues are built. So we'll discuss about that also. We have one specific use case for that as well. Okay, so what are the key market drivers for RPA? So why do we need RPA? So the first one is cost pressure. Okay, for BPO, if you see telecom, wherever you have many resources and the same repetitive jobs they are doing, but you have to reduce your costs. Okay, that is one of the reasons. Okay, the next one is customer expectations. Customer is expecting, the fast delivery. Say for example, if you are taking a broadband connection, okay, customer might be taking 15 days to deliver the service to customer, because of some reasons, like the current technology may not be supporting to to provide the service faster to the customer, and we have some manual tasks, we have some checking, verification kind of things. And if you put the RPA, just drag and drop, no need to write any code, so you can implement faster. If any changes required, you can implement it very faster, and then you can deploy the solution. So that is the customer expectations. And the next one is the new technology. Okay, the technology is new, and it's very easy to implement. Okay, and many benefits from the technology. So that is one of the reason. And the compliance and regulations. Okay, most of the RPA tools are following regulations. And the outsourcing market saturation. If you see 10 years back or 15 years back, a client is giving work to one company, and then company is giving outsourcing. All these things are there. Now it is almost saturated. So every customer is taking their own decisions and then taking resource and implementing. So that is one of the reason. And the next one is to growth. Okay, these are the market drivers for RPA. Okay, the benefits. So these are the benefits, but not limited to this. But there are many other benefits as well. But high level benefits, just to understand like why do we need RPA. I just kept a couple of benefits here. Eliminate repetitive work. Initial days, like if you see 5-6 years back, everyone is thinking about unnecessarily I'm keeping 100 resources, 200 resources, repetitive tasks. Some people are keep on resigning, learning some new things and going out. These are the issues. For that reason, these RPA tools are started implementation. Okay, but now the RPA tools are becoming like the integration purpose. Even artificial intelligence and machine learning related activities also it is going on now. So it is expanded from repetitive task to a higher level. The next one is cost reduction. Okay, obviously you can get the cost benefits, because if 100 people are working and each person is getting 20,000, you can calculate how much it is, and if you put one robot, how much time it is taking and how accuracy it is doing. Okay, because of that you will get some cost benefits and accuracy also, and efficiency is also more. Okay, you can see that here. And the better customer experience. Okay, and improved service delivery, lower operational cost, reduce implementation risks, improved accuracy, faster time to market. Okay, faster time to market is any solution or any requirement customer needed, you can implement that faster, because you don't need to write the code, drag and drop. Okay, there may be some other tools wherein tools are not supporting for some features, so they will go and write the .NET code. So for example, Buddhism. Okay, so in such tools you may have to spend some time, but like UiPath tool, you can no need to write the code, you can just drag and drop and implement the process. Okay, so that is the in that way you can take the UiPath as faster in implementation, and the customer can take the services to the customers in to market in faster way. The enhanced ability to management is also very easy. Okay, and these are the high level areas of implementation. Okay, IT. Okay, data consolidation, testing, data migration. If you see, not only repetitive tasks, in most of the testing areas, they are using RPA as validation. Okay, and the data migration, data integration. Integration is nothing but two applications are there. In earlier days, how the applications are getting integrated using some Java code, some WebLogic, and the APIs. We have to write a lot of Java code. We have to do a lot of WebLogic configurations. Okay, so in that way we used to do integration. But if you have the GUIs in two applications, by opening GUIs itself, you can get the data. Okay, like RPA tools, robots should work like humans. So how you are opening application. Okay, similarly, the bot will also open an application. Okay, that application from that application, robot can get the data and then push the data into other applications as well. Okay, so without using any APIs or without using your logic bridges, okay, it will directly interact with the application and integrate also. That is also there. Okay, And the next one is finance. Okay, finance domain. Okay, accounting closer and account opening. These are the just couple of use cases already in market. I'm just kept it, not limited to this, but there are so many. Just to cover in one side, I kept like this: BPO, banking, people management, telecom, supply chain management. In all areas, we have the RPA implementations now. If we see 2 years, 3 years back, only 2%, 5% clients implemented this RPA, but now if you see around 10 to 15% is increased. Going forward, it will increase because the RPA tools are also integrating with the AI related tools as well. Okay, so this is an interesting slide. The picture, whatever I kept here, this is couple of 1 year, 6 months or 1 year back picture. Okay, I'll talk about that as well. If you see this slide is basically I kept here just to make you understand like how many tools in the market and which is best, how it is best. Okay, just to let you know that I just kept this slide. Okay, if you see here around more than 12 or 13, 14 tools are there here in the slide. Out of this, I can say the first 5 tools are good tools in the market and they are good competitors in terms of technology or in terms of the deployment or analytics or AI, whatever it is. Okay, so the first one is UiPath. So if you see 2 years back, everyone is talking about Blue Prism and automation anywhere. Okay, even OpenSpan also recently around 1 year back, Pega acquired this OpenSpan. The WorkFusion is the open source tool. Okay, but we have to write the Java code most of the times in WorkFusion. Okay, that is the drawback in that tool. Okay, so if you talk about UiPath, okay, so you can see in the right side the technology category and each tool how much it is rated here, and you can see UiPath is top rated. Okay, because of many areas of implementations like it could be analytics or architecture wise or deployment wise or the bot development functionalities. Okay, in all aspects its average rating is 3.67. This is around 6 months or 8 months back, but now if you see UiPath implemented in so many areas like I don't know whether you heard or not, the IBM Watson one AI tool is there. Okay, that tool implemented in IBM. Okay, so that is artificial intelligence and machine learning related tool that is also integrated with the UiPath. Okay, so they build one physical robot also. Okay, wherein it works as a doctor. Okay, if we go and conduct one interview, I think one interview conducted around 6 months back between an expert doctor and the bot, the bot implemented using IBM Watson tool. Okay, doctor could not answer a couple of questions, but the bot answered. Okay, so that is also integrated with the RPA tool. Okay, I'm just giving an example. What all AI tools are integrated with UiPath, and you can call the Python code, or you can call Java code, or you can call .NET code, anything. All plugins, all activities are there in UiPath. Okay, in terms of all these technologies, UiPath is very faster now. Okay, but in Blue Prism, still we have to write some .NET code because whatever the customer expectations, those features are still not there. So they are giving one flexibility to write the .NET code. Okay, C# and 2 other tools are technologies also. The coding languages are also there to write the code there. Okay, and automation anywhere is also like UiPath. Okay, so you can see for automation anywhere how much rating it is, 3.63. Okay, 3.63. So 3.67, 3.63. The reason I started Blue Prism is like 2 years back. Everyone is asking about UiPath and Blue Prism. Okay, now people are asking automation anywhere, but rating wise, the first is UiPath, second is automation anywhere. Blue Prism, if you can see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th position here, 3.19. The reason why people are asking Blue Prism is very old tool and many customers are asking, so you're getting so many calls in the market. That is the reason. But now situation is different. Okay. So now, if you see a UiPath, Blue Prism, Automation Anywhere, features-wise same, but additional features will be there in UiPath because this AI analytics-wise, so much implementations are there. I mean, many aggressive activities like aggressive implementations, like weekly or monthly, they are releasing many activities, for every tool, AI tool integration, or it could be the feature of interacting with SAP tools or any other tools. Okay, that's how it is coming. The way of implementation is also very easy to deploy the activities. No need to change the entire tool. So it's very flexible to add new technologies into it. Okay, so automation anyway is also similar to it. Even AI related things are also coming in it. I have to do setup. Okay, once I do setup, I will do some couple of use cases on that as well. Work vision. Okay, so artificial intelligence related some algorithms are also there in this work vision, but it's open source tool. Okay, the main problem with this work vision is we have to write most of the cases for Java code. Okay, other than that, no issues. Okay, and if Blue Prism, the problem for practice is to get it installed in your system is only 15 days trial version. That too very difficult. But UiPath, when you can install for 12 weeks, you can have it, and then after 12 weeks also, I will help you how to extend it. You can keep on extending it. You can use it. But Blue Prism, it is not like that. Okay, so that is the main advantage with UiPath. Okay, and the other tools they're like nice Edgeware systems, Crayon systems, Redwood system. There is software, Context, Cofax, Automotive, and there is one tool, which is Tech Mahindra tool, and Accenture tool, TCS tool. There are so many tools like that. Okay, I just kept a couple of tools here. Okay, you can concentrate on the first 5 tools. These are the market highly used tools. Okay. Okay, so I just kept one simple step-by-step process here in case if any customer wanted to make their process into digital operations. Okay, the first, if you see, I just kept from robotic process onwards. Before robotic process onwards, if they wanted to make it digital, they might have to use the big data tools as well, ETL and reporting tools as well. Okay, so after that, RPA will start, and then whatever the required inputs required for RPA, so it will take from the fine-tuned data, like coming from big data or ETL tools or whatever it is. From there, if you see, to make it complete digital, if you take 100% work is there here in this journey, 60% work of enterprise process activities will be there in the RPA. Okay, the remaining 40% will be there in the AI and machine learning related. Okay, if you see in the down here, 60% work you can do here, the robotic process automation. So that could be either UiPath or Blue Prism or Automation Anywhere, Work Vision, OpenSpan, and there is Pegasystems or any RPA tool you take. Okay, and after that, the next 15% of process activities will be there in cognitive RPA. Okay, cognitive activities also came in UiPath and Automation Anywhere, but not in Blue Prism. Okay, UiPath and Automation Anywhere are best for cognitive RPA. Okay, after completing this 60% plus 15, 75% of RPA work, then chatbots. Okay, chatbots 15%. Chatbots is nothing but you will just in the chatbot you will just ping. Okay, I need this. Immediately that request will go to this RPA and cognitive RPA, and then you will get a response immediately. Okay. Other than this chatbots, the artificial intelligence related I just told you, right? One physical bot is implemented and it is competitive to doctor questions, something like that. So it is like that. So that is the little bit extension of this chatbots. Like you can talk also, but chatbots just only chat purpose. Okay. So if you want to completely do a digital operations with your customer requirements, you can use this RPA, cognitive RPA, chatbots, and artificial intelligence. Okay, so either chatbot or artificial intelligence. Okay, so those will take some data which is coming from the RPA processes. RPA will do some process and give the required input to the chatbots and artificial intelligence tools. Okay, missing a step would result in full benefits not achieved. Okay, if anything is missed in the RPA or any wrong input comes from the RPA tools, okay, obviously the artificial intelligence and chatbot tools will give the wrong information. So completely depending on RPA here. Okay, so a simple process I kept here. In 90s, manual process, how it is happening when you want to assign a role to a user. Okay, so a user came to a project. Okay, you have to give an admin role to some person, assign development role for some persons. Okay, like that, you have to give roles. Okay, that process, how it will happen in the manual process, how it will happen in the scripted business process automation like Java code, APIs, how it will happen. Now on RPA, how it will happen. So what will happen when you want to assign a role in manual process? What manager raises a request for default application access for team member? Okay, what that guy will do? He will log into a system and then he will navigate and search whether that user has that role assigned or not, and then what is the role is to be assigned. He'll search for it, and then if it is there, he will assign. If it is not assigned to him, he will assign. Otherwise, he will say it is not there, and then he will send an email to a manager. That is the manual process. Now, before RPA, okay, what will happen is that a request comes in a queue. It could be a WebLogic queue, okay, and then that information in the form of XML, okay, that will come to a system wherein you have database installed, everything is there. So where it will go into database and search whether that user has this role or not, and then if it is there, it will assign. It will not there, exception will be thrown. If user is not assigned with that role is already there in the system, will assign and send an email. Okay, this is the manual process. The first one is manual process. The second one is scripted. Okay, this is very difficult to implement. Like you have to write a Java code, you have to do some configurations in WebLogic machines. It's a very big process. Now it's very simple. What we'll do is bot will take the request, bot will open the system, bot will check in the system and assign and then send mail also. Okay, everything will be automated. You don't need to touch anything. You don't need to write any code. Okay, if a manual process takes half an hour, a scripted business take 5 minutes, robotic process will take half minute. So it is like that. Okay. Okay, so now I'm coming to the architecture of UiPath. Okay, so mainly in UiPath, you have 3 components. One is UiPath Studio. The second one is Orchestrator. The last one is Robots. Okay, so whatever the process you will implement, whatever the customer requirement, all those things you will implement in the UiPath Studio here. Okay, once you complete your process development, you will deploy that process onto your Orchestrator, and then you will configure the bots in your Orchestrator, and then bots will execute your processes. Okay. Okay, so basically there are 2 types of bots here. One is attended bot, and the second one is unattended bot. Okay, unattended robot is basically to execute your processes. Okay, attended bot is just to monitor the robots or processes or whatever it is. Okay, that is the high-level architecture. Okay, so I think Blue Prism. I don't think you need this. Okay, let me explain brief about this as well. Okay, so here in UiPath, only one studio will be there wherein you will develop processes. But in Blue Prism, 2 studios. One is Object Studio and the other one is Process Studio. And then you will also have a place to deploy all your processes, okay, onto Blue Prism database. And the control room is the place where you will configure your bots and then it will execute the process. Okay, so in UiPath you will call the server as the orchestrator, where you will configure your bots, but here it is control room. Okay, the only difference here is that Blue Prism will have 2 studios, whereas UiPath will have only 1 studio. Okay, so these are the screenshots of Blue Prism studios. Okay. At last, this slide is basically to cover, what would be the training agenda and what I would provide at the end of the training. Okay. UiPath around 25 classes, but in the last batch it reached around 30 because they came up with their own use case as well, and then I helped them to build those use cases also. Okay, along 25, around 5 So total 30 use cases I did in the last batch. So in case if you have any programs in your hand, if you want to convert that, if you have any specific requirement, there are a couple of use cases, like to make you understand the activities, how to use this activity, just small programs I build with drag and drop, no need to write any code. Say for example, you have some logic in your mind, algorithmic logic, okay, how to implement that. So around 2 to 3 use cases will cover that. And if you have any desktop applications like open Excel or documents, any or read the XML, write the XML, those type of things are also there as part of desktop applications. Okay, and data migration or data entry, some use cases here. Integration of applications or data consolidation, some use cases are there. Manual activities automation, some use cases are there. Amazon or Flipkart automation. Say for example, if you want to automate, like log into Amazon automatically, search for some mobile. If mobile is there, so and so mobile is there in Amazon, you just tell me what is the cost. If cost is so and so, features are so and so, you just send me an email. If you want to configure that kind of thing, also you can configure. Email automation is also there. Digitization related some use cases. PDF automation some use cases, and process execution by robot configuration and deployments. So from these you will have around 25 use cases here. Okay, 25 to 30 I can say. And Blue Prism also, just other than the Blue Prism, I mean .NET code, you will have around 15 to 20 classes. In case if you are interested with Blue Prism, otherwise you can ignore this. Okay. Other than the .NET code, I'll cover all the others in other activities. Okay, apart from this 25 use cases in UiPath or 15 to 20 use cases in Blue Prism, what are the additional things will be a part of this training is, I'll provide the material, okay, the complete material I'll provide, PDF documents, I'll upload in Google Drive and then I can share it to you. Second one is daily class notes. While telling the class, I will write the notes also, and I will record the session also. On the same day, within 1 hour, I will provide you notes and the recording as well. You can hear the recording based on your Gmail credentials. You can log into YouTube with your Gmail and you can watch, okay, any number of times. And once I share the recordings, it will be forever, okay, I will not revoke it, okay. And around 200 plus interview questions are there. And in case if you go for interview, if any new question comes and you are not aware of it, you can call me and you can update that question to me. Immediately I will update that question also into Excel sheet and you can ready for the next interview if any such question comes. Okay, and until you get the job and you are practicing your own domain area to do some use cases, okay, my support will be there. Okay, until you get the job, my support will be there.
Venkat garu?
Yeah. 1 second. You just speak in English, okay, until completing the session. Once I close the session, we can discuss in other languages also. Because this will be shared with multiple people, okay? Sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
Hello, Venkat garu.
Yeah, tell me. I'm able to hear you. Tell me.
Hello.
Okay, 1 second. Let me. Yeah, go ahead. I'm able to hear you.
Hi, this is Nitin. Along with Venkatesh, we are.
Yeah, Nitin. Yeah. Good. Tell me.
Actually, in this agenda, we are seeing this UiPath and Blue Prism classes.
Okay.
Actually, we are looking for UiPath as well as Automation Anywhere classes.
Okay.
So, is it possible to replace that Blue Prism classes to Automation Anywhere?
Okay, so what I will do is, first we will cover the Blue Prism, sorry, UiPath. Okay. In the last around 10 classes, I will cover Automation Anywhere. Is that fine?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, we will do that. Not an issue.
Okay.
So in place of Blue Prism, I will cover the Automation Anywhere. That is possible.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay. Yeah, any other questions?
Yeah, nothing else for.
Okay, so what is your expectation? Whatever my plan I just explained. So what is your expectation?
Actually, we are looking for. Why we are looking for is both UiPath and Automation Anywhere. While we are talking with the colleagues on different kind of sectors. So
Okay.
they are mostly using on these both technologies.
Okay.
Few persons are mainly concentrating on the entire infrastructure wise, like how the bots are deploying and all this stuff.
Okay.
They are saying like we are going for automation anywhere or some other things. Main concepts are mostly Python executions and all this stuff. We are going for UiPath like that. But
Okay.
we are in our organization, we are implementing the AI chatbots and also the entire
Okay.
data science concepts.
Okay. So if you have any setup, okay, IBM Watson or whatever, okay, and in case if you want to do any use case, so you just come up with questions, so we'll practice together, no issues. I mean, I will also involve in your POCs.
Okay.
Okay, so maybe the chatbots and all, I'll just tell you how to call the chatbots and all. Okay, but in case if any specific use cases we are planning, you start doing it, and in case if you have any questions, you can come up with that, and then we'll work together.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, any other questions? Ramesh, Naresh, Samba?
No.
Okay.
Ramesh, I think he mostly concentrating on